You do not rise by chance. You rise by choice every single morning. Victory is not a moment, it is a pattern. The art of war was not written for battles alone. It was written for those who wake with purpose, move with strategy, and master the chaos within. In 30 days, your life can change, not through noise, but through quiet discipline, through awareness, through calm preparation. Watch this each morning and sharpen your mind like a blade. Subscribe to our channel if you're ready. To master your mind and tell us, where are you watching from? Listen carefully to what I am about to tell you, for these words carry the weight of centuries. In the chambers of your morning mind, a battle wages before you even open your eyes. It is the battle between what you feel and what you must do. Most will tell you to follow your heart, to chase your passion. They are merchants of weakness, selling you the sweet poison of emotional impulse. The truth is far more powerful. Discipline is the only reliable captain of your morning hours. When your eyes open, your first thought should not be of comfort or discomfort. It should not be of desire or dread. Your first thought should be of duty, to yourself, to your mission, to the empire of your potential. This is how warriors begin their day. This is how victories are forged before the world wakes. You see, emotion is like water. It flows where gravity pulls it. Some days it will lift you, other days it will drown you. But discipline is the banks of the river. It contains, it directs, it transforms raw power into purposeful movement. Here is what most do not understand. The morning is not about feeling good. It is about becoming stronger. When you rise by discipline rather than desire, you tell your mind who is in command. Every morning that you override the weak voice of comfort, you strengthen the warrior within. The ancient practice is simple but profound. Set your wake time and honor it as if it were a military command. Your body may resist. Your mind may protest. Let them. Watch these rebellions like a general observing distant skirmishes. They are not orders to be obeyed. They are merely information to be noted. Remember this: the warrior who waits for inspiration will never be as powerful as the warrior who creates it through discipline. Your morning ritual should be as unchanging as the rising sun. It should be performed with the same precision, whether you feel energized or exhausted. When others speak of motivation, smile quietly. They do not understand that true power comes from moving without motivation. It comes from the simple, harsh, beautiful truth that action precedes inspiration. The disciplined morning creates the motivated day. You must understand this deeply. Every morning is a microcosm of your entire war. How you handle the first hour will echo through the remaining 23. A disciplined morning puts you ahead of 90% of your competitors before they have even opened their eyes. So tomorrow, when the morning comes, remember, you are not rising to feel good. You are rising to become strong. You are not starting your day, you are continuing your conquest. The emotion will come, but it must follow discipline. Never lead it. This is the first principle of morning mastery. Tomorrow, we will speak of silence and its power. But for now, reflect on this. Discipline is not the enemy of freedom. It is its foundation. Now go. Your morning awaits. There is a moment just before dawn when the world holds its breath. In this moment lies your greatest opportunity for power. But to seize it, you must first understand the nature of silence. Most fear silence. They rush to fill it with noise, news, music, chatter, the endless scroll of digital distraction. They do not realize that in doing so, they forfeit their first tactical advantage of the day. They let the world set the terms of engagement. A superior warrior knows this truth. Before you engage with the world's chaos, you must first establish your inner order. This is why the ancient masters began their days in profound silence, not to escape the world, but to prepare to master it. Think of your mind as a pond. When it is disturbed by ripples, thoughts, worries, plans, reactions, you cannot see clearly to its depths. But in silence, the water stills. The surface becomes like polished jade, reflecting reality with perfect clarity. This is the state from which true power emerges. Here is what the masses will never grasp. Silence is not the absence of action. It is the foundation of all powerful action. In these quiet moments, your mind calibrates, your instincts sharpen, your strategic vision clarifies. This is where battles are won before they are fought. The modern world conspires against this practice. It demands your immediate attention. It floods your senses with urgency. But remember, what seems urgent is rarely important. The truly important requires space. It requires silence. Your morning silence should be as protected as a fortress. Guard it with the same vigilance you would guard your life. For in many ways, they are the same. The quality of your silence determines the quality of your day's campaign. Learn to sit in silence for longer than feels comfortable. Start with 10 minutes, extend to 20, then 30. Feel the resistance within you, the urge to move, to check, to engage. Each moment you resist is a small victory. Each minute of maintained. Silence is a battle won against your weaker self, but mere physical silence is not enough. You must learn to still the internal noise, the endless chatter of doubt, anticipation, and unnecessary planning. Watch these thoughts like a general observing enemy movements. Do not engage them. Do not resist them. Simply observe their patterns until they exhaust themselves. This is what separates the master strategist from the novice, the ability to act from stillness rather than reaction. When you begin your day in silence, you create a foundation of calm strength that no external chaos can easily disturb. Remember, the noisy mind misses subtle signals. It overlooks opportunities. It reacts when it should respond. In silence, you develop the ability to read the invisible currents of your day. You see the patterns others miss because their minds are too loud to notice. Your morning silence is not meditation in the traditional sense. It is strategic stillness. It is the practice of gathering your forces before deployment. It is the art of sharpening your awareness before the day's battles begin. Let others rush into their days like untrained soldiers charging blindly into combat. You will begin differently. You will begin in silence. You will allow your mind to settle, your vision to clear, your purpose to crystallize. This is how you gain the advantage before the world even knows you're moving. This is how you ensure that when you do speak, when you do act, it comes from a place of collected power rather than scattered impulse. Tomorrow we will discuss the art of clarifying your mission. But for now, remember this: the warrior who masters silence masters timing, and timing in war, as in life, is everything. Now, go, create your fortress of silence. Listen well, for I will teach you one of the most crucial elements of strategic dominance, the art of daily mission clarity. Many warriors fall not because they lack strength, but because they lack direction. They mistake movement for progress, activity for achievement. The superior warrior knows that each day is a campaign unto itself, and like any campaign, it must begin with absolute clarity of purpose. This is not about writing a to-do list. This is about defining your battlefield and choosing your point of attack with surgical precision. Here is what separates the master strategist from the common fighter: the ability to reduce chaos to order, complexity to simplicity. Each morning, you must ask yourself, what is the one battle that, if won today, will advance my entire campaign? Most people begin their day by responding to emails, to demands, to the residual chaos of yesterday. This is the strategy of the defeated before. The day begins. You must learn to begin differently. You must learn to begin by declaring your intent before the world declares it for you. The morning is when you set the terms of engagement. This is when you decide where you will focus your forces and where you will practice strategic neglect. Yes, strategic neglect. For to choose one target is to decline 1,000 others. This is not weakness. This is the essence of strategic power. Consider this: A sharp blade cuts deeper than a dull one. Your focus, your energy, your time, these are your blade. When you try to cut everything, you cut nothing cleanly. When you try to be everywhere, you are nowhere effectively. This is why daily mission clarity is not just important, it is essential. Your morning mission clarification should be as precise as battle orders. Write it down. Speak it aloud. Make it so clear that a child could understand it. This clarity becomes your North Star, guiding every decision that follows. But remember this crucial truth. The mission must be worthy of your forces. Many waste their strength on objectives that, even if achieved, advance them nothing. Your mission must be connected to your greater war, your larger purpose. Each day's battle must serve the larger campaign. Here is the method. First, achieve. Stillness, as we discussed yesterday. Then, ask yourself these questions with unflinching honesty. What must be conquered today? What enemy must fall? What ground must be taken? What alliance must be forged? What skill must be mastered? The answers must be specific. Improve my life is not a mission. Complete the first draft of my battle plan is a mission. Be better is not a mission. Master the fundamental principles of strategic thinking is a mission. Vagueness is the refuge of the uncommitted. Once your mission is clear, you must see it completed in your mind. Visualize not just the objective, but the path to it. See the obstacles. Plan your response to resistance. Anticipate where the enemy of distraction will attack. This mental rehearsal is as important as the mission itself. Understanding this deeper principle, clarity of mission creates clarity of action. When you know precisely what must be done, decisiveness follows naturally. Hesitation comes not from lack of strength, but from lack of clarity. Let others begin their day in confusion, reacting to whatever comes. You will begin with the calm certainty of a general who has studied the battlefield and chosen his point of attack. You will move with the confidence of one who knows exactly where they are going. Tomorrow we will discuss how to guard your time like territory. But for today, remember, a warrior without a clear mission is like an army without orders. Powerful perhaps, but ultimately ineffective. Your morning mission clarity is your command center. Establish it with wisdom, guard it with vigilance, and let it guide your every move. Now go, define your mission, and let nothing deter you from its accomplishment. In ancient warfare, territory was everything. The army that controlled the high ground, the water sources, the supply routes, controlled the outcome. Your time is no different. It is the territory upon which all your battles are fought. Yet most defend their time with the vigilance of a sleeping guard. Understand this: every moment surrendered to distraction is ground lost to the enemy. Every hour given to meaningless engagement is a position forfeited without contest. The world has become masterful at invasion. It attacks your time with notifications, urgent requests, and endless demands for attention. But you must become even more masterful at defense. A superior warrior knows that time, once lost, cannot be recaptured. Unlike other resources, money, energy, even reputation, time flows in one direction only. This is why its defense must be absolute. Here is the first principle of time territory. Establish clear borders. Your morning hours, especially, must have boundaries as solid as fortress walls. These are your hours of power, when your mind is freshest, your will strongest, your focus sharpest. To surrender these hours to the demands of others is to give away your strongest position without a fight. Most fail in time defense because they do not understand its value. They trade their precious morning hours for trivial advantages, a few extra minutes of sleep, the false urgency of early meetings, the habit of immediate response to others' demands. This is like a general abandoning the high ground to camp. In a swamp, you must learn to see your schedule as a map of battle positions. Some hours are strategic heights that must be defended at all costs. Others are territories that can be traded or surrendered with minimal loss. Learn to distinguish them Between them, not all hours carry equal weight in the war for achievement. The method is this. First, identify your hours of power. For most, these are the early morning hours, before the world's chaos reaches full volume. Guard these hours with ruthless efficiency. No email, no social media, no meetings. These are your hours for strategic work, for mission-critical tasks, for the battles that must be won. Second, establish your defense systems. Turn off notifications. They are like enemy scouts, testing your defenses. Create strict protocols for what deserves your attention and what does not. Remember, everything that enters your time territory consumes resources. Make them earn their place. Third, learn the art of strategic refusal. Every yes is a commitment of time territory. Every agreement to meet, to help, to engage is a decision to deploy your forces. The superior warrior knows that no is not just a word. It is a defensive weapon of immense power, but remember this crucial truth. Defending time is not about becoming a hermit. It is about becoming a strategic commander of your hours. Some engagements are worth your time. Some battles must be fought. The key is choosing them with strategic wisdom rather than reactive impulse. Here is what the masses will never understand. Time management is not about doing more. It is about doing what matters. A general who tries to defend every inch of territory ends up defending none effectively. You must choose your ground. You must decide where to concentrate your forces. Develop the habit of regular time territory. Review. At the end of each week, examine your defense patterns. Where did your boundaries hold? Where did they breach? What intelligence can you gather from these invasions? Use this information to fortify your defenses for the coming week. The digital age has created new forms of time invasion. The endless scroll, the constant ping, the perpetual availability. These are siege weapons deployed against your time territory. You must develop new defenses to match these new threats. Airplane mode is not weakness. It is tactical wisdom. Most importantly, understand this. Your time territory defense is not selfish. It is strategic. By guarding your most productive hours, you actually increase your value to others. You ensure that when you do engage, you bring your full forces to bear, not the scattered remnants of a depleted army. Let others live in constant reaction, their time territory conquered hour by hour by the forces of distraction and urgency. You will live differently. You will defend your time with the same seriousness that an ancient general defended his fortress, for in truth, they are the same thing. Tomorrow we will explore how to direct your energy with strategic precision. But for now, remember, your time is your empire. Guard it, rule it, defend it. For how you defend your time territory will determine how many victories you can claim within it. Now, go. Fortify your borders, and let no enemy cross them without your conscious command. Listen carefully to what I am about to share, for this lesson separates the masterful from the mediocre. Energy is not merely a resource to be spent. It is a force to be directed. Like an army's strength, it must be deployed with strategic precision, not scattered in mindless engagement. Most people approach their daily energy like amateur generals sending troops in every direction, hoping something will work. They exhaust themselves on minor skirmishes before the real battles begin. By midday, their forces are depleted, their resolve weakened, their effectiveness diminished. The superior warrior understands that energy, like water, flows most powerfully when channeled. Consider a river. When its banks narrow, its force intensifies. When it spreads too thin, it loses power. Your morning energy follows the same principle. It must be contained, directed, focused on specific targets. Here is the first law of energy. Mastery. The morning hours contain your peak force. This is when your mind is clearest, your will strongest, your focus sharpest. Yet most squander this advantage. They diffuse their morning energy across countless small tasks, checking messages, responding to minor issues, engaging in pointless conversation. Think like a strategic commander. Would you send your strongest troops to handle trivial matters? Would you deploy your elite forces for routine patrols? No, you would preserve them for decisive battles. Your morning energy deserves the same strategic consideration. The method is this. First, identify your energy patterns. When are you strongest? When do you begin to fade? When does your mind work with greatest clarity? These are not casual questions. They are strategic intelligence about your forces. Second, align your most important work with your energy peaks. This seems obvious, yet few practice it. They save their crucial tasks for when their energy is depleted, then wonder why they struggle. This is like launching your most important attack with exhausted troops. Third, practice energy conservation. Every interaction, every decision, every engagement costs energy. The superior warrior knows to save their force for what matters. Small talk before an important presentation, unnecessary email checks before creative work. These are energy leaks that must be sealed. But understand this deeper truth. Conservation does not mean inaction. It means strategic deployment. Like a master general, you must learn when to advance and when to hold position, when to engage fully, and when to preserve strength. Here is what separates the master strategist from the novice: the ability to generate energy through wise deployment. When you align action with energy peaks, when you focus force on worthy targets, you create a positive cycle. Success energizes. Achievement fuels further achievement. Most fail in energy management because they confuse activity with effectiveness. They believe that constant motion equals progress. But consider, a blade swinging wildly expends more energy than a precise strike, yet accomplishes less. Your energy must have direction, purpose, precision. Learn the art of energy recovery. Like an army must rest and regroup. You must build strategic renewal into your day. Short breaks between intense focus, moments of stillness between engagements. These are not weaknesses. They are tactical necessities. The digital age presents new energy challenges. The constant pull of screens, the endless stream of information, the perpetual connectivity. These are energy drains that ancient warriors never faced. You must develop new strategies to combat these modern threats. Remember this crucial principle. Energy management is not about having more energy. It is about deploying the energy you have with greater strategic wisdom. A smaller force, well directed, will accomplish more than a larger force scattered without purpose. Your morning ritual must include energy assessment. Before you engage with the world's demands, take stock of your forces. Are you at full strength? 3/4? Half? This intelligence should inform your strategy for the day. Some battles can be postponed. Others must be fought immediately. Let others exhaust themselves in random activity, depleting their forces before the day's real challenges emerge. You will operate differently. You will direct your energy like a master general moves their troops, with purpose, with precision, with strategic intent. Tomorrow, we will explore how to identify and defeat the enemy within. But for now, remember, your energy is your army. Direct it wisely. Deploy it strategically. For in the war of achievement, it is not the amount of energy you have, but how skillfully you direct it that determines victory. Now go, gather your forces, and deploy them with the wisdom of a master strategist. The greatest battles you will ever fight are not found on external fields of combat. They rage within the territory of your own mind. While others prepare for outside enemies, the superior warrior knows that the most dangerous opponents lurk in the shadows of their own thoughts. Listen carefully, for I will reveal the enemies that most never learn to recognize, yet face every morning. These are not enemies you can see charging across the battlefield. They are subtle saboteurs, masterful at disguise, experts at undermining your strength before you even begin your day. First among these enemies is self-doubt. It appears as wisdom suggesting caution when boldness is needed. It whispers questions that weaken resolve. Are you ready? Are you worthy? Should you wait? Understand this. Self-doubt is not your conscience speaking. It is fear wearing the mask of prudence. The second enemy is procrastination. This is not mere laziness, it is a cunning strategist. It never appears as outright refusal. Instead, it offers reasonable delays, logical postponements, convincing arguments for why later is better than now. It is the assassin of opportunity, killing your momentum with 1,000 small delays. The third inner enemy is the need for perfection. This seems like an ally pushing you toward excellence, but in truth, it is a saboteur, making you waste strength on unnecessary refinements. While the real battles go unfought, the superior warrior knows that perfection is often the enemy of achievement. Here is what separates the master strategist from the amateur: the ability to recognize these inner enemies before they gather strength. Most wait until these forces have already breached their defenses. By then, the battle is already half lost. The method of defeating these enemies is this. First, you must study their patterns. When does self-doubt typically attack? What triggers procrastination? How does the need for perfection manifest in your morning routine? This intelligence gathering is crucial for victory. Second, you must understand their disguises. Self-doubt masks itself as prudence. Procrastination wears the costume of preparation. The need for perfection pretends to be excellence. Learn to see through these deceptions. Strip them of their power to deceive. But remember this deeper truth. These inner enemies cannot be permanently eliminated. They can only be mastered. Like gravity, they are forces that will always exist. Your task is not to destroy them, but to learn to move powerfully despite their presence. Here is the strategy for morning mastery. When self-doubt speaks, do not argue with it. Simply act. Action is the antidote to uncertainty. When procrastination suggests delay, immediately engage with the task. Small movement defeats its logic. When perfection demands more preparation, remember that done is better than perfect. Most fail in this inner war because they fight the wrong battle. They try to eliminate fear instead of learning to advance with it. They attempt to destroy doubt instead of acting despite it. They seek to perfect their preparation when they should be executing their plan. The superior warrior knows that morning momentum is everything. These inner enemies are strongest when you are still. They are weakest when you are in motion. This is why immediate action upon waking is not just discipline. It is strategic warfare against your inner opposition. Develop your morning intelligence network. Learn to spot these enemies gathering force. If you feel resistance toward your most important task, that resistance is intelligence. It tells you exactly where these enemies are massing their troops. That is precisely where you must attack. The digital age has given these inner enemies new weapons. Social media becomes procrastination's ally. The endless stream of information feeds self-doubt. The perfectly curated lives of others strengthen the need for perfection. You must recognize these new battlefields and adapt your defenses. Remember this crucial principle. These inner enemies are strongest in the morning because they know that's when you can do the most damage to them. They mass their forces at dawn because they understand that a victory over you in the morning usually means victory for the entire day. Let others wage war only against external obstacles. You will fight smarter. You will recognize that the most important victories must be won within before you ever step onto the outer battlefield. You will understand that mastering your inner enemies is the foundation of all other achievements. Tomorrow, we will discuss the art of preparation before action. But for now, remember, your inner enemies are your greatest teachers. They show you exactly where you need to be strongest. They reveal the gaps in your defenses. They point the way to your next evolution. Now go face your inner enemies, and let each victory over them become a foundation for your next advance. There is a moment between sleeping and conquest that most overlook. It is the space between rising and engaging, between awareness and action. This moment, preparation, is where battles are truly won or lost. Yet most rush through it, eager to engage before they are truly ready. Listen carefully, for I will teach you the art of preparation that separates the master strategist from the common warrior. This is not about lengthy planning or endless readiness. It is about the precise actions that transform morning potential into daily power. The superior warrior understands that preparation is not delay. It is the foundation of swift action. Consider the archer. The moment of drawing the bow is as crucial as releasing the arrow. The time spent in alignment determines the accuracy of the shot. Your morning preparation follows the same principle. Here is the first law of morning preparation. It must be systematic. Random preparation produces random results. You must develop a sequence of readiness that aligns your physical, mental, and strategic forces. This is not about length of preparation. It is about precision of preparation. Most fail in morning preparation because they confuse it with planning. Planning is about the future. Preparation is about the present. Planning says, "This is what I will do." Preparation says, "This is what I am becoming ready to do now." The difference is crucial. The method is this. First, prepare your physical vessel. The body is the vehicle of your will. Simple but powerful practices, water, movement, breath, these are not mere habits. They are the calibration of your instrument of war. A weapon must be primed before it can be deployed. Second, prepare your mental battle space. Clear your mind of yesterday's debris. Review your mission, not with anxiety, but with calm clarity. See the day's objectives not as burdens to be carried, but as targets to be acquired. This mental preparation is as crucial as any physical readiness. But understand this deeper truth. Preparation is not about achieving a perfect state. It is about creating optimal conditions for action. The superior warrior knows that waiting for perfect readiness is a form of defeat. You prepare not until you feel ready, but until you are ready enough to begin. Here is what separates the master from the novice: the ability to prepare without becoming trapped in preparation. Many use preparation as a form of hiding and elegant procrastination. They polish their weapons endlessly instead of entering battle. This is not preparation, it is avoidance. Your morning preparation must include intelligence gathering. What are the day's known challenges? Where are the likely points of resistance? What resources must be gathered? This is not worry. It is strategic assessment. The more clearly you see the battlefield, the more effectively you can move across. Yet most importantly, understand this: preparation is not just about you. It is about creating the conditions for others to succeed as well. A leader who enters the day unprepared spreads chaos to their entire command. Your morning readiness, or lack thereof, ripples outward to affect all your engagements. The digital age requires new forms of preparation. Your devices must be allies, not distractions. Your information streams must be curated, not cluttered. Your communication channels must be controlled, not controlling. Prepare your technological battle space with the same strategic care as any other aspect. Remember this crucial principle: preparation without purpose is just motion. Each element of your morning preparation must serve your larger mission. If it doesn't strengthen you for the day's battles, question its place in your routine. Preparation must be efficient to be effective. Let others rush into their days half-ready, fighting battles with dull swords and unclear minds. You will move differently. You will take the time to sharpen your blade, clear your mind, and align your forces. For in the war of achievement, the well-prepared warrior needs half the effort to achieve twice the result. Tomorrow, we will explore the wisdom of selective engagement, knowing which battles to fight. But for now, remember, preparation is not what you do before the real work. It is the first and crucial phase of any successful campaign. Now, go. Prepare with purpose, then proceed with power. In the art of war, there is a wisdom that eludes most warriors: the power of selective engagement. The superior strategist knows that true victory lies not in fighting every battle, but in choosing the right battles to fight. This morning, I will teach you this crucial distinction. Listen carefully, for this lesson challenges the common belief that more action equals more progress. Most begin their day engaging with every challenge, every request, every opportunity that presents itself. They mistake constant motion for strategic advancement. This is the path to exhaustion, not victory. The first principle of selective engagement is this: every battle consumes resources, whether you win or lose. Your time, your energy, your focus, these are the assets of your daily warfare. Even for a victory can be costly if it depletes your resources for more important conflicts ahead. Consider the general who engages every enemy force he encounters. Though he may win many small victories, he weakens his army for the decisive battles that matter most. Your daily challenges are no different. Each email you answer, each minor crisis you address, each distraction you engage, all diminish your forces. Here is what separates the master strategist from the common warrior: the ability to distinguish between battles that must be fought and those that can be bypassed. This discernment is not cowardice. It is the highest form of strategic wisdom. The method is this: each morning, before you engage with the world's demands, ask yourself 3 questions. First, does this battle serve my greater mission? Second, is this the right time for this fight? And third, is this engagement the best use of my resources? Most fail in selective engagement because they respond from ego rather than strategy. They feel compelled to prove themselves in every arena, to answer every challenge, to seize every opportunity. But remember, even a small battle can cast a long shadow. Victory in an unnecessary conflict may cost you the war. Develop the habit of strategic assessment. When a new demand appears, pause. When an opportunity presents itself, evaluate. When a challenge emerges, analyze. This pause is not hesitation. It is the space where wisdom operates. The superior warrior knows that 5 seconds of assessment can save 5 hours of wasted engagement. But understand this deeper truth: selective engagement requires courage. It takes more strength to bypass a battle you could win than to engage in one you should avoid. The masses will not understand this wisdom. They will mistake your strategic restraint for weakness. Let them. Here is the paradox that few grasp. The more selective you become in your engagements, the more powerful your actions become. When you engage less frequently but with greater purpose, your forces remain concentrated. Your strikes carry more weight. Your victories yield greater returns. The digital age has multiplied your potential battlefields exponentially. Every notification is a call to battle. Every email demands engagement. Every message seeks response. You must become even more discerning. Not every digital skirmish deserves your presence. Remember this crucial principle: your morning hours are your most precious territory. The battles you choose to fight during this time should be worthy of these premium forces. Many opportunities that seem important at dawn will reveal themselves as distractions by dusk. Learn to recognize false battles, those conflicts that arise from others' urgency rather than your importance. Many will try to draw you into their battles, to make their emergencies your priorities. The superior warrior knows how to honor others' challenges without adopting them as personal missions. Let others exhaust themselves, fighting every battle that presents itself. You will operate differently. You will understand that strategic victory often comes not from what you do, but from what you choose not to do. Your restraint becomes your advantage. Most importantly, know this: selective engagement is not about avoiding difficulty. It is about ensuring that when you do engage, it is with full force, clear purpose, and strategic advantage. Better to fight one battle with total commitment than 10 battles with divided attention. Tomorrow, we will explore how to strike where there is no defense. But for now, remember, your choice of battles shapes your destiny more than your conduct. Within them, choose wisely which conflicts deserve your engagement. Now, go. Survey your battlefield and engage only where victory serves your greater war. The supreme art of war teaches us a principle that most never grasp. True victory comes not from overwhelming force, but from choosing the point of least resistance. This morning I will share with you the ancient wisdom of strategic targeting, the art of striking where the enemy cannot defend. Listen carefully, for this lesson will transform how you approach every challenge. Most warriors exhaust themselves attacking strongest points first, believing that direct confrontation proves their worth. They mistake difficulty for necessity. This is the strategy of the untrained, the path of needless struggle. The superior warrior understands that water flows naturally to the lowest point. It does not fight gravity. It uses it. Your morning efforts should follow the same principle. Before you engage with any challenge, first identify the paths of least resistance. Where are the unguarded approaches? Where are the natural openings? Here is the first law of strategic targeting. Every defense has a gap. Every wall has a weak point. Every routine has its moment of vulnerability. Your task is not to break through resistance, but to find where resistance does not exist. This is not taking the easy way. It is taking the intelligent way. Most fail in this art because they do not take time to observe. They rush to engage. Before understanding the full battlefield, they attack obvious points because they are obvious, not because they are optimal. The master strategist knows that observation reveals opportunity. The method is this. Begin each morning by surveying your challenges, not for their difficulty, but for their accessibility. What task can be accomplished with current resources? Which project has natural momentum? Where can progress be made with minimal resistance? These are your primary targets, but understand this deeper truth. Striking where there is no defense does not mean avoiding difficult challenges. It means approaching them with strategic wisdom. Even the hardest fortress has its unguarded gate. Even the most complex problem has its simple entry point. Consider how water shapes stone, not through direct force, but through persistent action at points of natural weakness. Your daily achievements should follow the same pattern. Find the natural gaps. Locate the existing pathways. Use the structure of your challenges to inform your approach. Here is what separates the master from the novice: the ability to create opportunities where others see only obstacles. When a task seems impenetrable, the superior warrior looks not for where to push harder, but for where the task naturally wants to yield. Your morning assessment must include this strategic scanning. Before you commit your forces to any engagement, ask, where is the natural opening? What approach allows progress with minimal resistance? Which angle offers the clearest path to objective? This is not overthinking, it is strategic wisdom. Remember this crucial principle: energy preserved is energy available. When you strike where there is no defense, you conserve your forces for when direct confrontation becomes truly necessary. This is how small forces accomplish large objectives, through intelligent application rather than brute force. The digital age offers new opportunities for this strategy. Information flows through natural channels. Networks have their own patterns. Systems have their inherent weaknesses. The superior warrior learns to recognize these natural pathways and use them to advantage. Most importantly, understand this: striking where there is no defense requires patience. You must resist the urge to engage immediately. You must take time to circle your objectives, to probe for soft points, to identify natural advantages. This patience is not delay. It is preparation for efficient action. Let others exhaust themselves in frontal assaults against firmly defended positions. You will move differently. You will understand that achievement, like water, naturally flows through available channels. Your task is to find these channels and direct your force through them. This principle applies not just to external challenges, but to internal resistance as well. When you face inner obstacles, look for the unguarded approaches. If direct confrontation with a habit fails, find the supporting behaviors that have no defense. Strike there first. Tomorrow, we will explore the art of decisive action. How to Move without hesitation once your target is chosen. But for now, remember, the highest form of strategy is not to break through resistance, but to flow through its gaps. Now, go. Find your natural pathways and let your force flow where it meets. No opposition. There comes a moment when all preparation must end, when all strategy must transform into action. This is the moment that separates the great from the mediocre, the ability to move without hesitation once the path is clear. Listen carefully, for I will teach you the art of decisive action. Understand this first. Hesitation is not thoughtfulness. It is not wisdom. It is a form of defeat that comes before battle has even begun. The superior warrior knows that once the moment of action arrives, thought must cease, and movement must begin with the suddenness of lightning striking earth. Most warriors fail not because they choose wrong actions, but because they execute right actions too late. They wait for perfect conditions. They seek absolute certainty. They look for one more sign, one more confirmation, one more piece of evidence. This is the path of perpetual delay. Here is the first principle of decisive action. Momentum lost can never be fully regained. When you hesitate in the morning, you do not merely lose that moment. You diminish the power of every moment that follows. Like an army that delays its advance, you give your obstacles time to strengthen their position. The method is this. First, establish your criteria for action in advance. What must you know? What must be in place? What conditions must exist? Once these criteria are met, action must follow immediately. No second guessing, no delay, no review of decisions already made. But understand this deeper truth. Decisive action does not mean reckless action. The time for careful thought is before the moment of action, not during it. Like an arrow in flight, once released, your action should be single-pointed, unencumbered by doubt, focused purely on its target. Here is what separates the master strategist from the amateur, the ability to compress the space between decision and action until they become nearly one movement. When the master decides, they have already begun to move. When they move, the decision is already complete. Most fail in decisive action because they do not trust their preparation. They have done the work, gathered the intelligence, crafted the strategy, yet still they hesitate. Remember, your morning preparation earns you the right to act boldly. Trust what you have built. The superior warrior understands that action has its own wisdom. Movement creates clarity. Engagement reveals truth. Often, the certainty you seek before acting can only be found through action itself. This is why waiting for complete clarity becomes a form of self-defeat. Develop this habit. When your mornings signals action, move immediately. When the path becomes clear, step onto it at once. When the target presents itself, strike without delay. This immediacy of response is not impulsiveness, it is trained reflex, the fruit of proper preparation. Remember this crucial principle. The world rewards decisive action far more than perfect planning. A good plan executed now is infinitely better than a perfect plan executed too late. The morning belongs to those who can translate thought into movement with minimal delay. The digital age has created new forms of hesitation, endless information, constant comparison, unlimited options. These become modern excuses for delay. The superior warrior knows that in an age of infinite input, decisive action becomes even more crucial. Learn to recognize the signals that breed hesitation. The urge to check one more source, the desire to get one more opinion, the need to review one more time. These are not allies of excellence. They are enemies of achievement, thieves of momentum. Most importantly, understand this. Decisive action is a skill that must be trained. Start with small decisions. Move to larger ones. Build the habit of immediate execution. Let each decisive action strengthen your confidence for the next one. Your morning routine must include triggers for action, clear signals that end preparation, and begin movement. Specific points where thinking stops and doing begins. These are not arbitrary. They are strategic boundaries that prevent drift and ensure momentum. Let others remain trapped in endless preparation, forever waiting for perfect conditions. You will move differently. You will understand that conditions become perfect through action, not before it. Your decisive movement will create the very opportunities others wait for. Tomorrow we will explore the art of silent progress. How? To move without drawing attention. But for now, remember, in the war of achievement, the decisive warrior who acts swiftly with adequate preparation will always overcome the hesitant warrior waiting for perfect preparation. Now, go. Your moment of action has arrived. Seize it without hesitation. There is a power greater than visible force. It is the power of invisible progress. The superior warrior understands that the most significant advances often occur in silence, away from the eyes of the world. Listen carefully, for I will teach you the art of moving without being seen. Most seek attention before achievement. They announce their intentions, broadcast their movements, celebrate their preparations. This is the strategy of the amateur, revealing their position before securing their victory. They confuse the noise of movement with the power of progress. The first principle of invisible progress is this: attention is a resource that must be managed like any other. Every announcement of your intentions creates resistance. Every declaration of your goals invites opposition. Every premature celebration weakens your future victory. Here is what separates the master strategist from the common warrior: the ability to advance without attracting notice, to build strength without creating alarm, to achieve without requiring acknowledgement. Like the tree that grows in the forest, making no sound yet rising ever higher. The method is this. First, learn to work in silence. Your morning hours should be your stealth hours, when you move toward your objectives while others sleep, when you strengthen your position before the world demands your attention. This is not about secrecy. It is about strategic focus. But understand this deeper truth. Moving without being seen does not mean moving without direction. Your invisibility is not about hiding. It is about choosing when to be visible. Like the moon that grows full in darkness, your greatest growth should happen beyond others' observation. Most fail in this art because they hunger for immediate recognition. They need their progress to be seen, their efforts to be acknowledged, their journey to be witnessed. Remember, the need for validation is a weight that slows your advance. The superior warrior moves freely because they move unburdened by others' awareness. Develop the habit of private victory. Learn to celebrate your achievements in silence. Find satisfaction in progress that only you can see. This is not about denying yourself recognition. It is about choosing when that recognition serves your greater strategy. The digital age makes this wisdom even more crucial. Social media tempts us to share every step, document every move, announce every intention. Resist this. Understand that in a world of constant exposure, the ability to move unnoticed becomes a rare and powerful advantage. Here is the paradox that few grasp. The less you reveal, the more you can achieve. When others don't know your position, they cannot mount an effective opposition. When they cannot track your progress, they cannot prepare their resistance. Your silence becomes your shield. Remember this crucial principle. The morning hours are your greatest ally in invisible progress. While others sleep, you advance. While others talk, you build. While others seek attention, you strengthen your position. This is how small forces become powerful, through consistent, unnoticed progress. Learn to recognize the temptations that break your silence. The urge to share too soon, the desire to prove your worth, the need to respond to doubters. These are not opportunities. They are traps that transform potential energy into empty noise. Most importantly, understand this. Moving without being seen requires supreme self-confidence. You must be willing to work without applause, to advance without acknowledgement, to build without recognition. This is not about hiding your light. It is about choosing when to reveal it. Your morning practice must include this discipline of silence. Guard your plans like military secrets. Protect your progress like strategic intelligence. Share your achievements only when sharing serves your greater mission. This is not paranoia. It is strategic wisdom. Let others announce their every move, broadcast their every intention, seek validation for their every step. You will move differently. You will understand that true power grows in silence, that real progress happens in shadow, that lasting victory is built beyond the world's notice. Tomorrow, we will explore the art of strategic adaptation, how to change course without losing momentum. But for now, remember, in the war of achievement, the warrior who moves unseen will always have advantage over the warrior who seeks constant recognition. Now, go. Advance in silence, and let your achievements speak louder than your announcements. The greatest danger in any campaign is not the enemy's strength, it is your own rigidity. Listen carefully, for I will teach you the art of strategic adaptation, a skill more precious than any fixed strategy. In a world of constant change, the superior warrior must be like water, formless, flowing, forever finding new paths to victory. Understand this first. What brought you victory yesterday may bring you defeat today. The methods that elevated you to your current position may be exactly what prevent you from reaching the next level. This is why the superior warrior reviews and revises their tactics every morning, treating each day as a new battlefield requiring fresh strategies. Most warriors fail not because they lack strength, but because they lack flexibility. They master one approach and try to apply it to every situation. They become experts of a single path and forget that there are 1,000 ways to reach the summit. This is the path to stagnation, and stagnation is death. Here's the first principle of strategic adaptation: change before you must. The inferior warrior adapts only when forced, only when their methods have already failed, only when defeat has become inevitable. The superior warrior adapts while still successful, constantly evolving, always exploring new approaches. The method is this: each morning, question your assumptions. What worked yesterday? Why did it work? Will the same conditions exist today? This is not doubt, it is strategic assessment. The superior warrior understands that yesterday's solutions become tomorrow's problems if clung to too long. But understand this deeper truth. Adaptation does not mean abandoning your principles. It means finding new ways to apply them. Like a river that never changes its nature but constantly changes its path, your core strategy remains constant while your tactics evolve. Here is what separates the master strategist from the novice: the ability to maintain momentum while changing direction. Most either resist change to maintain speed or lose all momentum when adapting. The superior warrior knows how to shift course while keeping their force intact. Most fail in adaptation because they wait too long. They seek certainty before changing, proof before evolving, permission before transforming. Remember, in the time you spend seeking perfect clarity, the battlefield has already changed. The fastest adaptation is the one that happens before it becomes necessary. The superior warrior understands that adaptation is not weakness. It is the highest form of strength. It requires more courage to change a winning strategy than to persist with a failing one. It demands more wisdom to question success than to learn from failure. Develop the habit of regular tactical review. Every morning ask yourself, what can be improved? What can be simplified? What can be eliminated? What must be added? These questions are not signs of doubt. They are tools of evolution. Remember this crucial principle. The morning hours are your laboratory for adaptation. This is when you can experiment with new approaches, test different methods, explore alternative paths, all before the day's battles demand immediate results. The digital age makes this wisdom even more vital. Technology changes overnight. Information flows reshape themselves constantly. Methods become obsolete with increasing speed. The superior warrior must now adapt faster than ever while maintaining their strategic core. Learn to recognize the signals that demand adaptation. Declining results despite increased effort, growing resistance to proven methods, unexpected obstacles in familiar territory. These are not problems to be overcome. They are messages to be heeded. Most importantly, understand this: adaptation is not random change. It is strategic evolution. Every adaptation must serve your greater mission. Every change must align with your ultimate objective. This is not flexibility for its own sake. It is tactical agility in service of strategic victory. Your morning ritual must include space for strategic review and adaptation. What worked last week that no longer serves? What new opportunities have emerged? What threats have evolved? This is not paranoia. It is practical wisdom in a changing world. Let others cling to their methods until they become monuments to past success. You will move differently. You will understand that true mastery lies not in perfecting a single approach, but in maintaining effectiveness while constantly evolving. Tomorrow, we will explore how to carry calm into chaos. But for now, remember, in the war of achievement, the warrior who adapts without losing momentum will always overcome the warrior who maintains course out of habit. Now, go. Review your methods and let your strategies evolve with the rising sun. In the midst of battle, the greatest weapon is not the sharpest blade. It is the calmest mind. Listen carefully, for I will teach you the art of maintaining tranquility in turbulent times. This is not merely a skill, it is a strategic advantage that few warriors ever master. Understand this first. Chaos is not your enemy, it is your opportunity. When others panic, they lose power. When others rush, they make mistakes. When others react, they reveal weaknesses. The superior warrior knows that chaos is the perfect moment to demonstrate mastery. Most seek calm conditions before taking action. They wait for the storm to pass, for circumstances to settle, for clarity to emerge. This is the strategy of the amateur. The superior warrior knows that calm is not found, it is carried. It is not external circumstance, but internal condition. Here is the first principle of strategic calm. Your morning sets your foundation. If you begin in chaos, you will chase peace all day. If you begin in tranquility, you can carry that strength into every battle. This is why the morning hours must be protected. They are your fortress of calm. The method is this. First, establish your center before engaging with the world's chaos. Like a tree that deepens its roots before facing the wind, you must strengthen your core of calm before meeting the day's turbulence. This is not meditation. It is strategic preparation. But understand this deeper truth. Calm is not the absence of activity. It is the mastery of it. Like the eye of the storm that moves in perfect peace while chaos rages around it, your calm center must remain intact regardless of external conditions. Here is what separates the master strategist from the novice: the ability to maintain clear thinking amid confusion. When others are reactive, you remain responsive. When others are emotional, you remain analytical. When others are scattered, you remain focused. Most fail in maintaining calm because they try to control circumstances rather than themselves. Remember, you cannot calm the ocean, but you can learn to navigate it skillfully. You cannot stop the storm, but you can become unshakable within it. The superior warrior understands that calm is a weapon. In negotiations, it gives you advantage. In conflict, it gives you clarity. In decision-making, it gives you wisdom. Your tranquility becomes a source of strength that others cannot comprehend and therefore cannot counter. Develop the habit of strategic pause. Before reacting to any situation, take one breath. Before responding to any crisis, take one moment. Before engaging with any chaos, take 1 second to center yourself. This is not delay. It is tactical positioning. Remember, this crucial principle: the morning hours are your training ground for calm. This is when you practice maintaining tranquility under controlled conditions, building the strength that will serve you when real chaos emerges. The digital age has created new forms of chaos, constant notifications, endless urgency, perpetual connectivity. The superior warrior must now maintain calm not just in physical battles, but in the face of digital storms that never cease. Learn to recognize the triggers that disturb your calm. Certain words, specific situations, particular people. These are not threats to be avoided. They are opportunities to strengthen your tranquility. Each trigger mastered becomes a source of power. Most importantly, understand this: carrying calm into chaos requires practice. It is not a natural state, it is a cultivated strength. Like a muscle, it must be trained daily, tested regularly, and maintained constantly. Your morning ritual must include practices that build your capacity for calm. Breathing exercises, mindful movement, strategic silence. These are not luxuries. They are necessities for the warrior who wishes to maintain power in chaos. Let others be victims of circumstance, tossed about by every wind of chaos that blows. You will move differently. You will understand that true power lies not in avoiding turbulence, but in remaining steady within it. Tomorrow we will explore how to see the whole field, maintaining strategic perspective in the midst of tactical engagement. But for now, remember, in the war of achievement, the warrior who carries calm into chaos will always overcome the warrior who waits for chaos to calm. Now, go, find your center, and let your tranquility become your strength. The greatest generals do not just see the battle before them, they see the entire war. Listen carefully, for I will teach you the art of strategic perspective, the ability to perceive the whole field while engaged in immediate combat. This is the vision that transforms tactical warriors into strategic masters. Understand this first. Most warriors fail not because they cannot see what is in front of them, but because they cannot see what surrounds them. They become so focused on immediate challenges that they lose sight of greater opportunities. They win battles, but lose wars because they mistake activity for achievement. The first principle of strategic vision is this: your morning perspective shapes your daily decisions. Begin each day by rising above the battlefield. Before you engage with immediate tasks, survey your entire territory. See not just what demands attention, but what deserves attention. Here's what separates the master strategist from the common warrior: the ability to maintain multiple levels of awareness simultaneously. Like a great eagle that can see both the tiny mouse in the field and the vast landscape beyond, you must cultivate the power to perceive both detail and context. The AD method is this: start each morning with the practice of strategic elevation. Before diving into immediate concerns, ask yourself, where does this day fit in your greater campaign? How do your immediate battles serve your ultimate objectives? What connections exist between seemingly separate challenges? But understand this deeper truth: seeing the whole field is not about ignoring the immediate. It is about placing the immediate in its proper context. The superior warrior can zoom in for tactical precision while maintaining strategic awareness, like a general who can command individual units without losing sight of the entire army's movement. Most fail in strategic perspective because they become prisoners of urgency. They react to what shouts loudest rather than what matters most. Remember, the urgent is seldom important, and the important is seldom urgent. Your morning vision must penetrate beyond the noise of immediate demands. Develop the habit of regular perspective checks. Throughout your day, especially in moments of intense engagement, pause briefly to reestablish your broader view. This is not distraction. It is strategic reorientation. It prevents you from being drawn too deeply into battles that don't serve your greater purpose. The superior warrior understands that perspective is power. When others see only obstacles, you see opportunities. When others see only problems, you see patterns. When others see only chaos, you see connections. This elevated vision becomes your tactical advantage. Your morning review must include 3 levels of perspective. First, the immediate battlefield, what must be handled today. Second, the campaign level, what must be accomplished this month or quarter. Third, the war level, what must be achieved for ultimate victory. Remember this crucial principle. The morning hours are your watchtower. This is when your mind is clearest, your vision sharpest, your perspective least clouded by the day's demands. Use this time to see beyond the obvious, to perceive the invisible connections that others miss. The digital age has both helped and hindered strategic vision. We have more information than ever, yet less clarity. More data, yet less understanding. The superior warrior must learn to filter the noise, to find the signals that matter, to see the patterns in the chaos. Learn to recognize the signs of lost perspective, becoming overly emotional about small setbacks, losing sight of long-term goals in the face of short-term challenges, forgetting the connection between daily actions and ultimate objectives. These are not failures, they are calls to elevate your vision. Most importantly, understand this. Strategic perspective must be maintained, not just obtained. Like a position on high ground, it must be held through constant vigilance. Each morning, you must recommit to seeing the whole field, to understanding the greater context of your battles. Your morning ritual must include practices that expand your vision. Review your maps, survey your territory, understand the movement of forces around you. This is not planning, it is positioning. It ensures that when you do engage, you do so with complete awareness. Let others remain trapped in the tunnel vision of tactical engagement. You will move differently. You will understand that true power comes not from seeing more clearly, but from seeing more completely. Your broader perspective becomes your strategic advantage. Tomorrow, we will explore the art of self-leadership, how to command yourself before attempting to command others. But for now, remember, in the war of achievement, the warrior who sees the whole field will always overcome the warrior who sees only what is directly before them. Now, go, elevate your vision, and let your perspective expand with the horizon. Before you can command armies, you must first master the art of commanding yourself. Listen carefully, for I will teach you the most crucial battle of all, the battle for self-leadership. This is where all true power begins, where all lasting victories are first won. Understand this first. You cannot lead others until you have proven you can lead yourself. Many seek to control external forces while their own internal forces remain in chaos. They attempt to direct others while their own direction remains uncertain. This is the path of the pretender, not the true leader. The first principle of self-leadership is this: your morning sovereignty determines your daily dominion. How you lead yourself in the first hour shapes how you will lead in all the hours that follow. This is why the morning hours are your most important battlefield. They set the standard for everything that follows. Here is what separates the master leader from the common commander: the ability to maintain absolute authority over oneself. Your thoughts, your emotions, your actions. These are your first troops to command. Like a general who must control his own impulses before controlling his army, you must establish complete dominion over yourself. The method is this: begin each day with a self-inspection more rigorous than any you would conduct on others. Are your thoughts aligned with your mission? Are your emotions serving your objectives? Are your actions following your strategy? This is not self-criticism, it is strategic assessment. But understand this deeper truth. Self-leadership is not about suppression, it is about direction. Like a skilled commander who doesn't crush his troops' spirit but channels it effectively, you must learn to direct your internal forces rather than merely controlling them. Most fail in self-leadership because they try to lead themselves through force rather than strategy. They attempt to break their will rather than align it. Remember, the greatest victory is not when you overcome yourself, but when you make yourself an ally in your own campaign. Develop the habit of regular self-command checks throughout your day, especially before major decisions or engagements. Verify that you are leading yourself, not just reacting to circumstances. This is not paranoia. It is tactical wisdom. The superior warrior understands that self-leadership has three domains: thought, emotion, and action. Each must be commanded with different tactics, yet all must serve the same strategy: your morning. Practice must establish authority in all three realms. Your thoughts must be led like an advanced scout unit, sent ahead to explore opportunities, but always reporting back to central command. Your emotions must be led like cavalry, powerful forces that must be directed, not just unleashed. Your actions must be led like infantry, disciplined, precise, and coordinated. Remember this crucial principle: the morning hours are your command center. This is when you establish the orders that will guide your day. This is when you align your internal forces before engaging with external challenges. This is when you prove to yourself that you are worthy of leading. The digital age has created new challenges for self-leadership: constant distraction, endless stimulation, perpetual connectivity. The superior warrior must now maintain internal command, not just against traditional enemies, but against modern forces designed to hijack attention and emotion. Learn to recognize the signs of lost self-command: reactive behavior, emotional turbulence, scattered focus. These are not mere symptoms. They are intelligence reports from your internal battlefield, warning you that your leadership is weakening. Most importantly, understand this: self-leadership must be renewed daily, like a general who must re-establish command every morning. You must regularly reassert your authority over yourself. Each day brings new challenges to your leadership. Each morning requires fresh proof of your command. Your morning ritual must include practices that reinforce your self-leadership. Review your orders, inspect your forces, align your resources. This is not routine, it is recommitment. It ensures that when you do face challenges, you face them as a commander, not as a casualty. Let others struggle with external leadership while their internal realm remains in chaos. You will move differently. You will understand that true power begins with self-mastery, that all outer achievement flows from inner command. Tomorrow we will explore the art of elimination, how to remove what doesn't serve your mission. But for now, remember, in the war of achievement, the warrior who leads themselves will always overcome the warrior who only knows how to lead others. Now go, take command, and let your self-leadership become your first victory of the day. The greatest power often lies not in what you add, but in what you remove. Listen carefully, for I will teach you the art of strategic elimination, the wisdom of reducing forces to increase strength. This is not mere simplification, it is the essence of strategic clarity. Understand this first. Most warriors fail not from lack of resources, but from lack of focus. They gather too many weapons, pursue too many objectives, spread their forces too thin. They mistake quantity for power, variety for advantage. This is the path of the confused, not the confident. The first principle of strategic elimination is this: your morning clarity depends on your ability to remove what clouds it. Begin each day not by adding tasks, but by eliminating distractions, not by gathering resources, but by removing obstacles, not by expanding options, but by focusing priorities. Here is what separates the master strategist from the common warrior: the courage to eliminate the good to focus on the excellent. Most can discard what is obviously worthless. The superior warrior knows to eliminate even what has value if it does not serve the primary mission. The method is this: start each morning with the practice of strategic subtraction. Before you plan what to do, decide what not to do. Before you choose what to engage with, select what to ignore. Before you commit resources, identify what deserves none. This is not laziness, it is tactical precision. But understand this deeper. Truth. Elimination is not mere reduction. It is concentration of force. Like a lens that focuses scattered light into a powerful beam, strategic elimination concentrates your resources where they can have maximum impact. Most fail in elimination because they fear loss more than they value clarity. They hold on to tactics that once worked, relationships that once served, methods that once succeeded. Remember, what brought you to your current position may be exactly what prevents you from reaching the next level. Develop the habit of regular purging. Every morning ask yourself, what can I remove today? What complexity can I eliminate? What good things must I sacrifice for the essential things? This is not destruction. It is refinement. Each elimination should leave you stronger, not weaker. The superior warrior understands that power flows through clean channels. When your morning is cluttered with non-essentials, your energy disperses. When your strategy carries unnecessary elements, your force scatters. Elimination creates the space through which power can flow freely. Your morning review must include 3 levels of elimination. First, the physical, remove what clutters your space. Second, the mental, eliminate what clouds your thinking. Third, the strategic, remove what doesn't serve your mission. Each level of elimination increases your potential for power. Remember this crucial principle. The morning hours are your pruning time. This is when your mind is clearest to distinguish between the essential and the non-essential. This is when you can make the hard choices that lesser warriors avoid. This is when you establish what deserves your force and what does not. The digital age has made strategic elimination more crucial than ever. Information overload, endless options, constant demands for attention. The superior warrior must now be even more disciplined in eliminating the non-essential, more ruthless in protecting what truly matters. Learn to recognize the signs of strategicus: clutter, scattered focus, diluted results, exhaustion without progress. These are not problems to solve by adding more. They are signals that elimination is needed. The solution often lies not in what's missing, but in what's present yet unnecessary. Most importantly, understand this. Strategic elimination must be constant, not occasional. Like a garden that requires regular weeding, your life and strategy must be continuously cleared of what doesn't serve your mission. What you allow to remain, you strengthen. Your morning ritual must include practices that sharpen your elimination skills. Review your commitments, assess your obligations, evaluate your methods. This is not criticism, it is curation. It ensures that what remains truly deserves your energy and attention. Let others chase every opportunity, embrace every option, carry every burden. You will move differently. You will understand that true power comes not from having more, but from having less that matters more. Your strategic elimination becomes your tactical advantage. Tomorrow we will explore the art of visualization, how to see victory before it exists. But for now, remember, in the war of achievement, the warrior who masters elimination will always overcome the warrior who only knows acquisition. Now, go. Remove what weakens you, and let your power concentrate where it matters most. Before the battle is fought in the world, it must be won in the mind. Listen carefully, for I will teach you the art of strategic visualization, the power to see and secure victory in the realm of thought before it manifests in the realm of action. Understand this first. All achievement begins twice, first in the mind, then in reality. The superior warrior knows that what cannot be seen clearly in thought cannot be achieved clearly in action. They win their battles in the domain of visualization before engaging in the domain of execution. The first principle of strategic visualization is this: your morning mind is your most powerful creative force. In the silence before dawn, when the world is still, your ability to see clearly into the future reaches its peak. This is when you must paint your victories in vivid detail. Here is what separates the master strategist from the common warrior: the ability to see success with such clarity that failure becomes nearly impossible. They don't just imagine victory, They rehearse it, detail it, live it in their minds, until it becomes an inevitable conclusion. The method is this: begin each morning in strategic silence. Before the world presents its version of reality, create yours. See your objectives not as distant possibilities, but as current realities waiting to be unveiled. This is not fantasy, it is tactical preparation, but understand this deeper truth. Visualization is not mere positive thinking, it is strategic rehearsal. Like a general who plays out battles in his mind before deploying troops, you must engage with your challenges first in thought, testing approaches, foreseeing obstacles, preparing responses. Most fail in visualization because they see it as a passive exercise, a pleasant daydream. The superior warrior knows that true visualization is active, demanding, precise. It requires the same focus, discipline, and strategic thinking as actual combat. Develop the habit of complete visualization. Don't just see the victory, see the path to it. Don't just imagine the triumph, imagine the challenges and your responses to them. Don't just picture the goal, picture every step required to reach it. This is not imagination, it is preparation. Your morning visualization must include 3 dimensions. First, the strategic, see your ultimate victory. Second, the tactical, see the specific battles you must win today. Third, the practical, see the exact actions you must take in the next hour. Each dimension reinforces the others. Remember this crucial principle. The morning hours are your visualization dojo. This is when your mind is most receptive to programming, most capable of detailed imagery, most powerful in creating future reality. What you see clearly in these hours tends to materialize in the hours that follow. The superior warrior understands that visualization has specific rules. It must be regular, practiced daily without fail. It must be detailed, including sight, sound, feeling, and action. It must be strategic, aligned with your greater mission. And it must be followed by immediate action. Learn to recognize the difference between strategic visualization and idle fantasy. Strategic visualization energizes and directs. Fantasy merely entertains. Strategic visualization creates actionable insights. Fantasy creates comfortable illusions. Strategic visualization demands follow-through. Fantasy accepts endless revision. Most importantly, understand this: visualization must be protected from interruption. Like a general planning in his war room, you must create space where your strategic sight can operate without disturbance. This is why morning silence is crucial. It provides the clean canvas for your mental creation. Your morning ritual must include time for this practice. Before checking messages, before engaging with the world's demands, before allowing external reality to impose itself, you must first create your vision of victory. This is not luxury, it is necessity. Let others begin their day reacting to what exists. You will move differently. You will begin by creating what should exist. Your strategic visualization becomes the blueprint that reality will follow. The digital age has made this practice even more crucial. In a world of constant distraction and immediate demands, the ability to hold and develop clear internal visions becomes a rare and powerful advantage. Your morning visualization is your defense against the chaos of modern warfare. Remember, your mind is most powerful in stillness. The clearest visions come in silence. The strongest strategies emerge in solitude. This is why you must guard your visualization time as a general guards his headquarters. It is the source of your tactical advantage. Tomorrow, we will explore the art of beginning again, how to approach each day as a fresh campaign. But for now, remember, in the war of achievement, the warrior who sees victory clearly in mind will always overcome the warrior who only looks for it in the world. Now go. Create your vision and let your mind lead reality to victory. Now we come to the most powerful truth of all, the art of beginning again. Listen carefully, for this final lesson contains the essence of all warrior wisdom. Every morning is a new campaign, every dawn a fresh battlefield, every day another chance to prove your mastery. Understand this first. The superior warrior knows that yesterday's victories, like yesterday's defeats, are now mere memories. They neither guarantee tomorrow's triumph nor predict tomorrow's failure. What matters is not what you have done, but what you will do when the sun rises again. The first principle of strategic renewal is this: your capacity to begin again determines your capacity to prevail. Many warriors fail not because they cannot fight, but because they cannot refresh. They carry yesterday's battles into today's campaigns. They fight new wars with old strategies. Here is what separates the master strategist from the common warrior: the ability to approach each morning with beginner's mind, yet veteran's wisdom. They combine the fresh eyes of the novice with the deep knowledge of the experienced. This is the ultimate tactical advantage. The method is this: each morning, perform the ritual of strategic renewal. Before you engage with the day's challenges, consciously release both the triumphs and failures of yesterday. Clear your mind like a general clears his map before planning a new campaign. This is not forgetting, it is focusing. But understand this deeper truth: beginning again is not starting over, it is starting anew. Like a sword that is resharpened, not replaced, you retain your experience while refreshing your edge. Each morning is not a reset to zero, but a return to full potential. Most fail in strategic renewal because they confuse experience with expertise. They believe that because they have fought before, they need not prepare again. Remember, the most dangerous weapon is not the sharpest sword, but the freshest mind wielding it. Develop the habit of conscious recommitment. Each morning, actively choose your path again. Renew your dedication to your mission. Reaffirm your strategic principles. This is not repetition, it is reinforcement. Each recommitment should be as powerful as the first. The superior warrior understands that renewal has three aspects: physical readiness, mental clarity, and strategic focus. Each must be refreshed daily. Each must be approached as if for the first time. Each must be honed anew for the specific challenges of this day, not any other. Your morning renewal must include these elements. First, release. Let go of yesterday's outcomes. Second, review. Absorb yesterday's lessons. Third, ready, prepare. For today's battles with fresh energy and clear focus. This is the cycle of perpetual improvement. Remember this crucial principle: the morning hours are your renewal dojo. This is when you transform from who you were to who you must become. This is when you shed the weight of the past and embrace the potential of the present. This is when you become new again. The digital age makes strategic renewal even more crucial. Information never sleeps. Challenges never cease. The battlefield never clears. The superior warrior must now be even more disciplined in creating clean breaks, fresh starts, new beginnings. Learn to recognize the signs of strategic staleness: routine responses, assumed outcomes, comfortable patterns. These are not signs of mastery. They are warnings of complacency. Each morning must break these patterns, challenge these assumptions, refresh these responses. Most importantly, understand this: strategic renewal must be both humble and confident. Humble enough to begin again, confident enough to build upon. Experience, this balance between fresh eyes and proven wisdom, is what makes the superior warrior unstoppable. Your morning ritual must be approached each time as if it were both the first time and the most important time. Each element should be executed with full attention, full intention, full commitment. This is not routine. It is renaissance. Each morning is a rebirth of your warrior spirit. Let others carry their past like armor that weighs them down. You will move differently. You will understand that true power comes not from what you have done, but from what you are ready to do now. Your capacity for renewal becomes your ultimate strategic advantage. Remember, the art of war is the art of eternal beginning. Each morning is a new choice to rise, to focus, to conquer. Each dawn offers another chance to prove your mastery. Each day presents another opportunity to demonstrate your warrior spirit. This is the final wisdom, but it is also the first. You do not rise by chance, you rise by choice every single morning. Victory is not a moment, it is a pattern, a pattern. You must choose to renew with each rising sun. Now go, begin again, and let each morning become your masterpiece of strategic renewal. This is where I leave you, but not where you end. For the true warrior knows that every ending is just another beginning. Every sunset merely prepares the way for another dawn. And in that dawn lies your next victory, waiting to be claimed by the warrior who dares to begin again. Subscribe to our channel if these teachings have awakened the warrior within you. Share your journey in the comments below. And remember, every morning is a new chance to prove that you are more than yesterday's warrior. You are today's conqueror, tomorrow's legend. Now rise, your next campaign awaits.